Everybody, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive. Today, we're tackling a real classic in the fitness world.
We're going deep on Arnold Schwarzenegger's The Education of a Bodybuilder.
Oh yeah, this one's legendary. Part autobiography, part training guide.
Exactly. It's got a little bit of everything, whether you're a hardcore gym rat or, just curious about Arnold's story and how he became such an icon.
Totally. We're going to pull out all the best stuff.
Yeah.
Training techniques, nutrition tips.
Oh, and we'll definitely get into Arnold's whole philosophy.
Yeah, his whole approach to life, really. Bodybuilding is a way of life, right?
Right.
So this book, it's not just like a dry textbook, right?
Oh, definitely not. One of the things that makes it so great is that it's packed with these personal stories, Arnold's own experiences.
I bet there are some good ones in there.
Oh, tons. He talks about, when he was a teenager, he was so obsessed with bodybuilding that he would actually sneak into the local gym because he couldn't afford a Mendia.
Wow, sneak in.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
Talk about commitment.
Shows you what kind of drive he had from the beginning. But, okay, so he clearly worked his butt off.
Yeah.
But he doesn't make bodybuilding seem like this exclusive thing, right?
No, absolutely not. In fact, he really emphasizes that bodybuilding is for everyone.
It's not just about, competition and getting on stage.
No, it's about pushing yourself. It's about achieving, physical and mental well-being.
Totally.
He really makes his training principles accessible, whether you're, brand new to lifting or you've been doing it for years.
Okay, so break it down for us. What are some of those core principles that Arnold lays out?
Well, one of the big ones is progressive overload.
Okay, I've heard that term before, but
yeah.
Explain it like I'm 5.
All right, so basically the idea is that you need to constantly challenge your muscles by gradually increasing the weight or resistance that you're using.
Okay.
He actually uses this analogy of like building a house. You can't just, slap on a second floor without having a really solid foundation.
That makes sense.
Right.
You got to build up gradually.
Exactly.
But, just thinking about that, wouldn't that just lead to a bunch of injuries if you're not careful? Just going heavier and heavier.
You're absolutely right. That's why he also stresses the importance of proper form.
Okay, yeah.
Like lifting with the correct technique, not just throwing weight around.
Got it.
That's how you're going to get the most out of your workouts and prevent injuries.
So you're saying that it's not just about grinding yourself into the ground every single day?
No.
There's more to it.
It's about working smarter, not necessarily harder, right? And the book actually lays out this really clear progression.
Okay, cool.
He starts with a program for beginners, which is all about building that solid base. Then he gradually introduces these more advanced techniques as you go.
Ooh, advanced techniques.
Yes.
Okay, so like what? Give us some examples.
Well, you've probably heard of things like supersets.
Yeah, supersets, I've heard that thrown around, but I don't really know what it is.
So basically, it's where you do 2 exercises back to back without resting in between. That really gets your heart rate up and really fatigues the muscles.
I see.
He also talks about things like pyramid training,
Okay.
where you gradually increase the weight that you lift for a few sets and then you decrease it. It's all about finding different ways to challenge yourself, really.
Okay.
It's smart.
So we've talked a little bit about the training side of things,
Yeah.
but Arnold was also really big on nutrition, right?
Huge. You don't get a physique like that just from lifting weights.
No way.
His chapter on nutrition is gold. It's so good. He really breaks down, not just food groups, but macronutrients, protein, carbs, fats, how to adjust your calorie intake depending on if you're trying to bulk up or lean down.
So I'm guessing his meal plans are pretty legendary too then.
Yeah, they're pretty famous. What's
Cool.
cool is that he provides specific meal plans tailored for different training phases.
Oh, that's helpful.
It gives you a peek into what fueled those legendary workouts of his.
Like what? Like what did he eat?
Oh, steak and eggs were a huge staple for him.
Really?
Yeah, he wasn't afraid of red meat, but he balanced it out with tons of vegetables and healthy fats, too.
Steak and eggs, I can definitely picture him eating that.
Classic Arnold.
But I feel like a lot of people were also curious about, the whole competition side of bodybuilding.
Right.
Does he get into that in the book?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's a whole section dedicated to contest preparation.
Cool.
He talks about everything from posing to dieting to even mental strategies, like how to handle the pressure of being on stage.
Oh, wow. So he really does cover the whole experience.
Yeah, he talks about how it's not just about being in peak physical condition, but also having that confidence and stage presence to really command attention.
It's interesting how he brings in those mental aspects as well.
Yeah.
It seems like for him, bodybuilding's more than just a sport.
Yeah, you're hitting on something important there.
Okay.
Throughout the book, he really emphasizes that bodybuilding is like a discipline. It's a way of life.
I like that.
The dedication and the perseverance that you cultivate in the gym, that spills over into other areas of your life.
So it's about more than just building muscles.
Exactly.
It's about building character, too.
Exactly. If you can push yourself to squat, hundreds of pounds, you can apply that same grit to any challenge that life throws at you.
That's a really powerful message.
Yeah.
So, what does all this mean for the folks listening? What are the big takeaways here?
I think Arnold's message, it transcends the gym. It's about setting goals. It's about working hard. It's about never giving up. It's about pushing your boundaries and realizing that you're capable of so much more than you think you are.
It's inspiring stuff. We covered a ton today. We talked about training principles, nutrition, competition prep. We even touched on Arnold's whole outlook on life. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty fired up to hit the gym now.
Me too. And, just as a final thought for everyone listening, I'd challenge you to think about how you can apply that same discipline, that same dedication that we talked about today to other parts of your life.
Ooh, good point.
What goals are you working towards? What obstacles are you facing? Just remember, like Arnold says, anything is possible if you're willing to put in the work.
That's such a great point. Well, if you haven't already, go grab yourself a copy of The Education of a Bodybuilder. Get inspired. It's a book filled with wisdom that goes way beyond just building muscles. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It was fun.
We'll catch you next time.